Hi, this is Swati Deshpande of Times of India.
And this is Frank Garner of the BBC. This is the Insomniac, updating you 24/7 with news from around the world.
Our broadcast is brought to you by Insomnia Cookies.
Have you ever wanted a warm cookie at 12 a.m. at night, but never wanted to bake them? Well, now you no longer have to. Thanks to our sponsor, Insomniac Cookies, with over 40 different flavors today. My personal favorite is the red velvet. Now just look at that oozy, gooey right there. Just look how beautiful that would be in your mouth while you're studying for your calculus exam, crying at night. Now you can have food and cry at the same time. And you may be wondering, wow, these must be really overpriced to be delivered at 3 in the morning. Well, you're wrong. For just a low price of $20, you can get 12 cookies. Please see our website for more details.
Today in Nigeria, accusations resembling the Red Scare are running rampant as committee members seek to weed out communists within their new transitional civilian government.
A heartwarming story of star-crossed lovers has captured the public's heart in Nigeria, as the relationship between Victoria Gowon, the wife of Nigeria's head of state, and Audu Bako, governor of the Kano state, has been publicized.
In Isla Nublar, executives of InGen, major investors, and lobbyists meet to discuss steps to revive dinosaurs and establish the world's first dinosaur theme park.
Wow. But the company faces resistance from Biosim's notorious corporate espionage that threatens to slander the reputation of InGen.
In Venezuela, delegates scrambled to resolve the current inflation crisis. But in other news, the 80 Years' War is, not to anyone's surprise, still ongoing.
Let's speak with our correspondent, Tanya Georgiopoulou, reporting from the Spanish side of the conflict.
This is Tanya Georgiopoulou speaking outside the Spanish conference room in Madrid. We are currently around 2 days into war negotiations with the Dutch conference. And as we have learned so far, there have been several main concessions made by the Dutch and several wins for the Spanish. For one, Italy has been regained under control, pushed out from the Ottomans thanks to a successful crusade given by the order of Pope Gregory shortly before his death last night. At his deathbed, we did find a book with mentions to God for forgiving him for having a boyfriend. And this gay lover could be, in fact, either be in the Spanish or Dutch rooms, but it is unknown who it is. In other news, Spanish and France have made an alliance to invade the Low Countries and split up the territories, and we have recently seen that Belgium, among other countries, have been ransacked. Finally, debate goes ongoing in the Spanish committee about who will be the next Holy Roman Emperor. I had the chance to talk to both a supporter of King Philip and Maximilian II, who are both candidates for the Holy Roman Emperor. We will now speak to them next. This is Tanya Georgiopoulou here reporting outside the Spanish committee. I have Ferdinand, a key debater.
That's not my name.
Ferdinando, close enough. Outside here, and we'd just like to ask you a few thoughts. So, what are your thoughts on who should be the Holy Roman Emperor?
So I'm personally going to support King Philip II. You know, I've been loyal to him for much of my life, as well as his father. I think as a proud Catholic man, it's my duty to vote for the king.
And can you tell us about the other person running? What was his name again?
Maximilian, former Holy Roman Emperor. He has done well for his empire, defending them against the Ottomans, but he has much non-Catholic support in the Protestants, as well as the burning of the Peace of Augsburg Treaty, which is too much for me to handle.
And what are your plans if King Philip is elected as a new Holy Roman Emperor? Would Spain, the Spanish Empire, just be incorporated into the Holy Roman Empire?
I'm not sure of King Philip's intentions at this time. I would hope that the Spanish Empire would, of course, grow in power, and I, of course, myself may grow power along with them. So, hope for King Philip there.
All right, thank you. All right, this is Tanya Georgiopoulou here today reporting outside the Spanish committee. Today we have Maximilian II as a candidate for the Holy Roman Emperor. Maximilian II, what do you have? Why should you be the Holy Roman Emperor?
Thank you. I have proved myself once before as Holy Roman Emperor. I was a very just ruler, a very fair ruler, and while my enemies may have forged notes that claim that I manipulated my election, this is completely false. The Spanish have done nothing but attack me this entire time, even though I have been right. King Philip does not know what he's doing. He has a group of advisors that surround him, but he doesn't know what he's doing. I know what I'm doing. I urge the German princes, the Catholic princes especially, to change their vote and support me for Holy Roman Emperor.
And I understand that your dad was the Holy Roman Emperor before you, and so did you inherit that title? And was there any reason that there was a new election, or did the German lords call this new election?
Well, the title itself is typically hereditary. However, there is a election that is customary. Charles V, the great king of Spain, and my father both were Holy Roman Emperors and both worked to negotiate the Peace of Augsburg that I will continue to maintain and expand upon if I am continued to be allowed to serve as Holy Roman Emperor. I cannot say the same for King Philip.
And wasn't that paper burned? Do you know who burned that peace treaty down?
As far as I'm aware, I believe it was copies of the Treaty of Augsburg that were burned just because of the conflicts between the Protestants and the Catholics. I completely disavow these conflicts, and I urge all of the Protestants to stand down, and I also urge the Catholics to stand down as well.
And if you were elected the Holy Roman Emperor, what would be some of your policies, and how would you treat both the Dutch, Spanish, like the Ottomans, and like the Italians?
In terms of the Spanish, I have not interfered once in their events at all, in their affairs at all. I purely governed my empire the way I see fit, which includes religious tolerance across the board, as mentioned in the Peace of Augsburg.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Only time will tell who will be the true Holy Roman Emperor elected by the German lords. This is Tanya Georgopoulos signing off.
Thank you, Tanya. It's wonderful to hear that there's LGBT representation even within our spiritual leaders.
Wow. Now we will hear from the Dutch side of the conflict. After being invaded by France, the Dutch are restructuring their approach to the conflict. Now we'll hear from two prominent Dutch officials, interviewed by yours truly in Utrecht.
Thank you, Frank. I'm Robin Roberts, coming to you outside the Dutch Council room. Earlier, I spoke with the newly nominated head of the recently formed Dutch Bureau of Investigation, Representative Phillips. While he denied a filmed interview, he stated that he is excited for the new position and is glad that he can be using his talents in a productive manner. Thank you.
And here for an exclusive Insomniac scoop, we have a very special guest.
Can you introduce yourself and your role here?
I'm Sophie. I am the crisis director for the 80 Years War.
So what has been your favorite moment thus far in the conference?
I think my favorite moment has to have been when the Pope's gay lover killed him, leaving behind only a single tulip petal, which was a symbol of their love.
Wow.
That's
Yes.
wow. That's so romantic.
Yeah.
But also
That's
not.
really profound. Yeah, it touches my heart.
It was very sad. He wrote a very long diary entry about it to us, saying how his loyalty to his country outweighed his loyalty to his heart.
Aw.
Wow. So patriotic.
Well, we have another question for you. How do you see the 80 Years War resolving with the current delegates?
That's really hard to say. It's pretty close right now. The Spanish had managed to turn it in their favor towards the beginning of this session, but towards the end now, the French feel betrayed by them, so it might turn the tide of war again.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We really enjoyed having this interview with you. We can't wait to see what happens this weekend. Well, that has been the Insomniac. It is February 26th, and we're signing off.
Join us tomorrow for more groundbreaking news. Anywhere, anytime.